It's the start of the longest season in Formula One history. We're going to go around the world, starting here in Bahrain and ending up back in the desert of Abu Dhabi. 24 races in 2024, 30 times the lights will go out with sprint races. We're all set to get rocking and rolling for a whole new season. And it all starts here in Bahrain, the earliest start since 1992 in a season. The first time on a Saturday since 1982. Then a week later, we're here in Saudi Arabia. Then it's Australia. Japan moves earlier in the year. China, very special day for me, my birthday on the 21st of April. Then it's back to Miami. The first European race of the season is round 7 before Monaco. Then a trip back to Canada before Spain, Austria. The halfway stage of the season, the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Then it's Hungary and Belgium to lead us to the summer break, coming back with Netherlands and Italy. Azerbaijan, the last European race before flyaways start in Singapore, then United States, over then to Mexico, then it's Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and the last race in Abu Dhabi. Let's take a look around the Bahrain International Circuit, a 3.362 mile circuit, 15 turns in total, 3 DRS zones as well. High elevation change up towards turn number 4. It's a fast, abrasive circuit. Get a good exit then out of the last corner and boot it hard towards turn number 1. Maximum usage as well of the DRS and ERS power. You're going 8th gear flat out, over 300 kilometers. Lap on the brakes very late, turn in a very tight right-hander. Careful as you accelerate the power. Flat out through the kink at 2 and then the rise uphill towards turn 3 with the second DRS detection zone. Turn 4 flat out, braking around about 80 metres to go. Flick the car in once again to the right, let it drift out wide. Pick up the accelerator, don't go all 4 wheels off the white line as well, but try and use it as much as possible. Down to the sand dune section now, 5th gear, right through the curves as well. Get back on the power, heavy braking stop once again, down all the way, 2nd gear corner, back to the right. Power mid-on at the exit, rise up. Turn 9 and 10, double sweeping left-hander. Take the first one tight, brake hard, and turn. A lot of lockers on the inside front left here as well. Into the tight turn 10. DRS opens once again for the 3rd time. Down you go towards turn 11. Important to keep the car moving, important to keep the brakes on, light tap of the brakes down in 4th gear, power through mid-exit as well, right up the curbs. Now, turn 12 and 13, very important, don't touch the curbs at all, otherwise I'll spin you towards the wall. It's one of those type of circuits. Flick now, down, mid through, the last turn 13, down, once again, the long back straight, no DRS, you're going to have to pass here with ERS management as well, into turn 14 as well, another heavy braking zone, down 3rd gear, back again to the right, turn 15's practically invisible as you hurtle down with the DRS open through the first activation zone across the line. That is a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit here in Sharjah. Hello everybody and welcome to practice 3 for the Bahrain Grand Prix, where over the past 24 hours the news has very much still been on Red Bull. Not apparent their lack of pace and lack of advantage, but mainly with their team principal of Christian Horner. On the 3rd of February, we know that an alleged complaint was made against Christian Horner. Red Bull then launched an internal and then it became an external investigation with independent reviewers. But he was then, on the 28th of February, found that the claims had been dismissed by Red Bull's parent company. Then, yesterday, on the 29th of February, during the second practice session, Over 500 people involved in Formula One, which included accredited media, permanent pass holders, team principals, the head of the FIA and the head of Formula One, Stefano Domenicali, allegedly received an email which contained a Gmail link to a Google Drive containing alleged evidence in the Christian Horner case. Now, it's been dominating and it's been going around as well what these documents entail. Christian Horner has released a statement saying that he, again, denies everything that's been put out and he can't talk about anything because of the repercussions. Designed to say, the Google Drives have been making their way around social medias, the links have been seen and everything as well. Social media court still making up their own opinion. We, though, will remain with the facts as we have them, which is that these claims are being denied by Christian Horner. Red Bull standing by that their decision of the claim has been dismissed, and whatever evidence this has been leaked by whoever who has access to team principal information, Formula One, FIA, personal emails as well. It's a link that seems to have come from within inside Formula One. That's about as much as we can say. Like everybody, we can assume situations on things, but assuming never gets us anywhere. But what was supposed to be a matter that was rested has now been brought right back up to the front once again, and having seen alleged screenshots of things and alleged messages as well. We can't really comment on those, but it's very hard to tell what is going on. And I think that the further this goes with Red Bull, the longer it's going to be. And what we can say right now is that Stefano Domenicali and Mohammed Ben Sulayem are in a meeting discussing this Christian Horner situation. So it's a bad look on Formula One at the moment. Zach Brown and Toto Wolff said yesterday in the press conference that they were not happy with Red Bull's investigation. They wanted FIA and Formula One management to do their own investigation. And now we come into practice 3 with all these questions still up in the air. Jess Balls alongside me in the commentary box for this session. Jess, it's a difficult situation. We were hoping it was going to be resolved before the season started, and then this message comes through and this apparent alleged evidence, which nobody knows if it is true or fake. We've no information on that. No one's come forward to say, yeah, I've sent this out, because obviously they're not going to. So we have no idea what's going on, but you're getting the senses of a witch hunt. You're getting the senses of vigilante justice. You're getting the senses of, people trying to go for a power grab in Red Bull. It's a giant mess right now at the team as well. And it's not very good for Formula One at the moment, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? And doubts are starting to fly over my head on why FIA didn't do an investigation in the first place, because it affects the sport, and it would have been fishy if it just came from Red Bull. So I think in order to resolve this out, FIA should investigate this, and then once the FIA confirm their findings, then it should be the end of that. And I do hope that it is not someone trying to oust or get rid of Christian Horner purposely.
We'll get on to more of what we hear throughout the session, but here it comes then, the third practice session for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's the third practice session for the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix, the opening round of a record-breaking 24-race calendar in 2024. Around the world we will zigzag, and it all starts here in the Gulf Fair State in the desert of Bahrain. This track celebrating its 20th anniversary on the Formula One World Championship calendar. It's a 5.412 kilometre circuit that's been on here on and off since 2004. Full throttle for 74% of the lap. A 1:27.264 is the fastest ever lap here in qualifying back in 2020. We won't get that far back. Top speed in this generation of cars, 203.5 miles an hour. In terms of tyres, Pirelli have brought the hardest available. The soft is the C3, the medium is the C2, the hard is the C1, and the further you go, medium 1.2 seconds a lap slower, the hard 1.6 seconds a lap slower. It's practice 3 on a Friday. Never in the history of Formula One has this happened before. A third practice session on a Friday. Even when we had races back on Saturdays, we never had third practices back in those days. It used to be the qualifying sessions that used to take part. So we're in for a world first here in the 75th season of this great championship. A championship that at the moment very much under scrutiny. If you're just joining us and picking us up on the world feed and on the radio coverage as well, everybody has been questioning what's happening with Red Bull. All we can say at the moment is that there is a meeting going on with Stefano Domenicali, the head of Formula One management and the CEO of the sport, and the president of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, as well. So we will have more information as the race weekend progresses. Christian Horner is visible and will be on the pit wall in this coming session as well. Jess Ball's alongside me in the commentary box. Omi's down in the pit lane, and Jess, it won't stop, will it? It is an absolute mess. And just to pick up what we were talking about before the world feed started, it's not the greatest look for Formula One. It seems like a power grab from Red Bull. We have no idea if the evidence that's been released is real or not. It's the Google Drive that's gone around. It's all confusing, and it's just not been resolved the way it should be. So my question to you directly is, should Formula One and the FIA now step in to run their own investigation, because Red Bull once again has controversy around them?
Well, there's no there's an obvious answer. Yes, with any situation like this, it should happen with the FIA and Formula One to investigate it, because sometimes we don't trust what's going on with Red Bull at times. So yeah, I have to agree. F1 and FIA need to step in, and it is going to take a while. But let's not forget, we've got FP3 still ahead of us. Not the most representative of sessions. We saw both Mercedes topping FP2 the other day as well. But Max Verstappen doesn't feel too worried after practice, because at the qualifying simulation pace, I was posted on the Formula One website, Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari are looking very close. So I'm strongly suggesting that at least qualifying is going to be close between those three teams. Red Bull still look the best in terms of race pace, though. But again, not by much to Ferrari.
Absolutely, and I think we're in for a very close quality, as you say. I'm very much looking forward to that later on. The race pace as well is interesting data. Verstappen 67 thousandths quicker than Piastri in that McLaren, but Max, as you said, was complaining yesterday. The gearbox wasn't right, the upshifts and downshifts weren't correct, the throttle pedal wasn't working correctly, the engine was trail braking in as well, so a lot of errors he was having, and he was not happy. Just to touch on that Christian Horner subject as well, this has just come through on our chat up here in the commentary box laptop. He said, I won't comment on anonymous speculation, but to reiterate, I have always denied these allegations. And he also said, I respected the integrity of the independent investigation and fully cooperated with it in every step of the way. It was a thorough and fair investigation conducted by an independent specialist barrister, and it has concluded. Dismissing the complaint made, I remain fully focused on the start of the season as well. And that statement, as the green light goes on for this session, we're underway for practice 3. Spokesperson for Red Bull GmbH, the parent company of the F1 team, said on Thursday, this is a private matter between Mr. Horner and another, and it would be inappropriate for Red Bull to comment on this. So that's the latest we've got from Red Bull as this session goes on, but we are awaiting more and more news on this matter. But right now, we've got a bit of a problem for Lando Norris. He might not get out in this session. They're having a little few changes to his car. We'll bring you the updates we have on those shortly. No one in a hurry to head out on the track. As Jess said, practice 3 is a pretty an irrelevant session because it takes place in the day and qualifying's in the night. But yeah, as Oscar Piastri watches on. But I think as well, you've got to be careful here, because there was also a sort of, not a cease and desist, but there was a warning that went out from Red Bull lawyers yesterday, saying that any media publication that published those alleged documents would be sued, but you can still report on the matter. So it's a grey area how much you have to walk the
weird.
line. It really is weird, isn't it? The only thing that I think is allegedly you can say about this matter is that it's tricky. Red Bull's silence on the matter, the longer this goes on, the more damaging it's going to be. And there's been many people who's been saying, can Christian Horner stay in his job as team principal? And I think just that links back to the power grab I was on about, because since we had the death of Dietrich Mateschitz, the Red Bull sort of owner, the founder as well, since his death... can you hear me, Jess?
Oh, you cut off for me.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi's been a bit problematic. Yeah, what I was saying was, since the death of Dietrich Mateschitz as well, it's been a bit all over, hasn't it? The power grab for Formula One. And do you think that...
Homie, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So it's not me. Okay, then.
Anyone hear me? Hello?
I
Okay.
think Josh can hear us.
I can hear you. I can hear you, but apparently you can't hear me. That's confusing.
I've just seen him on the stream so he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that is bizarre. And we're still on the... I don't know what's happened. It looks like the internet has gone funny, but it's not actually off. So I'll try... Oh, now they've gone. Right, well, we'll try and get that sorted then and see what the issue is right now. It looks like Discord's crashed. I might need to do a quick computer restart if that's the case, if the internet's just gone a bit wobbly. MacBooks have problems. No internet, it says, but we do have internet and we are streaming. That's always the case, isn't it, as well? To see... I don't want to leave it on the battle camera for too long, but no worries, because we do have the F1 BBC blog to take us through. Red Bull have said that unity has never been stronger. That's an interesting factor to come into it. We are waiting for the session to get underway and the drivers to head out on the track. Right now they have not done so, which I'm not going to say is a bad thing, but it's a little bit bizarre that they haven't gone straight out there on the circuit as well. But we have our information up here in the comments box. There we go. Just while I try and reset this laptop, what happened there. So just hit restart. Always the way, isn't it? We have one problem and it all just goes funny. But no one's out there on the circuit just yet. Latest from what we can see here, that Red Bull unity has never been stronger. Christian Horner said on Thursday, before the anonymous email was sent, Red Bull have never been stronger, and he was cleared of inappropriate and controlling behaviour towards a female colleague. He also said, we're here now very much to focus on the Grand Prix and the start of the season and trying to defend both our titles, Horner told Sky Sports' Craig Slater. I'm pleased the process is over, but I obviously can't comment about it. Asked if the team were unified, he said, within the team it's never been stronger. Interesting. So, loading in Discord, getting it all set. Valtteri Bottas still in the car, no one heading out the track just yet, as we're 54, 53 left in this session. There's Fernando Alonso watching on, just keeping an eye on the whole situation. I think they're going to wait as late as possible to go out on the circuit. Why not? They've got no reason to venture out there. Sky going for an ad break, leaving me completely defenceless with information. Logan Sargent watching on as well. Driver track is available. No one's on the onboard cameras. I'm looking on the new pit lane channel for 2024, which has got the TV pictures. It's then got an onboard mix and it's got a driver tracker. So it's not actually that bad. In fact, if we had that option up here in the commentary box, I'd take that on the main monitor. But it's not being cooperative at the moment. Do get in touch with us on YouTube. We haven't got the chat up just yet, but we will do in a second once the laptop starts playing ball with me and actually helping me, as I think it has now done. So yeah, do get in touch with us. Use the hashtag JBMotorsports, as you can see below on the Twitch chat as well, and on YouTube and on Twitter using the X function as well. So we can all stay up to date with the latest information. Just a quick thing as well. If you're listening to us on the radio, nice to have you here on USRN. And if Matthew puts us on every now and then, so I always say hello. I know we'll be there for the race. And Lewis Hamilton is at pit out. So Lewis Hamilton is the first driver to venture onto the circuit. Delighted to say that we're going to have them back now as well, which is great news. So, yeah, Jess got the race and pace and qualifying simulations. Great graphic to have there as we get back. Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. No idea what happened there, but welcome back. Jess, great graphics there about the race pace and qualifying simulation pace. Must get those on to take a look at it. So, yes, I could hear you, but apparently you couldn't hear me. So
We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on there. Literally, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, because it was like, well, I'm here, I'm talking, but no one can hear me. But everyone else could hear me on everything else. As I'm just loading up now, YouTube and Twitch. Only Hamilton's out there on the chat, by the way. As we're watching the infield section of the stuff, because they haven't even bothered on the world feed to show us Lewis Hamilton out on the track, which I find very bizarre. Personally, I would have had him out there on the circuit. Take off that and get Jess back on. So what were we talking about, Jess, before? I was on about a power grab in Red Bull. Do you reckon that could be something that, it was...
And then you cut off.
Yes, now I cut off. And we're on. Yeah, we're back.
I literally forgot what I was going to say, but I just hope it's not someone trying to take Christian Horner's job.
Yeah. Which I was worried about as well, actually. Because it's not a nice way to go about all this. And I don't feel sorry for Christian Horner in many respects. I know it sounds weird to say that, but I feel sorry for this woman who's been involved in all this and made the complaint to HR, who at the request kept all their information private. For this now to be leaked, I'm more concerned about her in this manner, because with Christian Horner, he lives his life in the centre of public life. He's in there completely, and I know he must be going through stuff as well, but I'm more worried about this woman who made the complaint anonymously, didn't want to get out. We don't know her name or anything, or we know that she was a female Red Bull employee. And I'm a bit concerned that her messages have now allegedly been released, and all the media publicity as well about speculating who it could be. We've all heard that rumour of who it could be. We're not going to say it, but I'm concerned about her, so I hope she's okay. And to an extent, I hope Christian's okay, but I'm more worried about her.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the one who made the complaint, because she made the complaint hoping that it wasn't going to get out to the world, but it turns out he has gone out to the world. So Lewis Hamilton only man out on circuit, like we were saying earlier. Mercedes looking faster in free practice, but it's just going to be, I think, a glory run for Lewis Hamilton. 1:32.7.
Not a bad time. Yeah, I made a mistake coming out the last corner as well, actually. Right, got the chats back on the screen, which is great. SS Racing UK says, hi, Josh and Jess. Hi, welcome. George says, hi, guys. John says, hi all, this should be an interesting session. It is, as we see Max Verstappen at Red Bull just getting in. What's the mood down at Red Bull? That's what I want to know. I do, because it's got to be affecting them. I would love to know the mood as Helmut Marko watching on as well on that side of the garage. Helmut Marko actually said he was flabbergasted about the apparent leaks as well. So he made and he hasn't seen them as well. Apparently as well, according to Motorsport and Autosport.com, Jos Verstappen was tagged in that Gmail link as well. So not sure what's happening there. And George says, great stuff covering the F3 today. Unsure how you managed that. Me and Naomi don't know either. It was a hell of a race. Adam says, hi, Josh and Jess.
How'd it go?
About as insane as it could be. About 9 cars in the battle for the lead of the race.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
Oh, this is where Lewis Hamilton made a bit of a mistake then.
Coming into turn 13, yeah. Just got it too wide. And for that car that's looking quite strong and stable, we've yet to see it actually at full push power. That's why I think I'm so excited for qualifying later. It's going to be right up there with quite an exciting session. It's the only time of the year, of course. We see
Friday.
Yeah, Friday qualifying.
Friday.
Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Adam will be with us for NASCAR. George says, well, much better than Sky commentary. They couldn't sort out the audio levels. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, to be fair, we just had a blip on the system. Probably something loading in or something on a timing screen that just glitched. And the internet. Although my laptop, I'm down to one USB-C port. The other USB port has sort of gone on protest. It's not working for the Dell monitor, but it is working for charging on one side of the cable and then working for a HDMI lead to a monitor. So I need to get a monitor that's a HDMI input, not a VGA cable. So, yeah, that's what's going on in the box this week. We're working with dying technology. But I'm very excited about the fact that F1 23 on Tuesday, March the 5th, is coming to PlayStation 3 for free if you have a PlayStation Plus account.
Woohoo!
So we can all play some games. And Jess, we must do some
And
racing.
you could do the lap attacks.
And I can do the lap attacks, yeah. Because
It
I've
was
still got
not
yours.
done, of course, on the new game.
Yeah, because you did quite a lot of them last year at the end, so that's perfect.
I did Vegas, Qatar, and I think that's it. 'Cause I think you did one because the game was free for like
a week, yeah. I did one. I can't
I think
remember.
you did.
But yeah, I can't wait. I'm rubbish at lap attacks anyway. You're the Red Bull Esport driver. You should be doing the lap attacks. You're better.
Speaking of Red Bull sim racing, my training program has started this week.
Oh, fantastic! Do you know? I hope I'm putting you in a position. I've just remembered actually that you're part of the Red Bull Esport Academy, so I haven't put you anything in a position there.
No, not really. I mean, I was saying what I'm allowed to say.
Okay, I just
So
shut me up if I can't. You know, I don't want you to get in trouble or anything with that. So.
no, I'll be fine. But yeah, we've got a group session on Sunday, and we're working on a few circuits, Bahrain being one of them.
What's it like there,
So-
Ben? Because you did go to the Red Bull factory, of course. That's something you did do. And you were in that room with all the cars and that lot. So, what's it like at the factory?
Oh, it was so good. We went into the trophy when we were so in awe about the success of the team and how many trophies they got as well. And having the cars on show was pretty good. Obviously, we couldn't talk about and share photos of the actual factory itself because it would be leaked otherwise. But there were a few rooms which I was so fascinated by. We were in one room for like 5-10 minutes. I think about 5 minutes longer than we were intended to because we were so in awe in it. But yeah, it was very good. The E-Arena was good as well. And the staff that I met there were very lovely. So, yeah.
I definitely want to go. I want to go, and I want to do some factory tours like this year.
I think they do tours still.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, but I think they still do tours.
I need to get in touch with a couple of teams this year because I want to do some features for the Grand Prix Sunday shows and go there and sort of do some
Williams are
features.
doing an esports experience like night where it includes a tour of a factory.
Right.
I could send you an email from Motorsport UK, I think it is.
Please do, Jess. Please do. We'll go get sorted. Yeah, just.
Yeah, it's about 90 quid though.
Ah, well, that's. Do you know what, now that we're getting a bit more revenue, that's pretty good actually. That's decent actually.
Yeah. So, and anything to do with Williams esports at the moment is generally quite good as well.
Well, they were partners, of course, with PSGL for a couple of races, and they're a fantastic team over there. And then Richie.
Yeah, indeed.
Did Richie go down and commentate from one of the sessions over there? I think he did something, didn't he?
For what?
He was
for Williams?
Yeah, he was at the Williams Esport facility, wasn't he? Oh, George Morgan definitely went.
Yeah, George.
Ah,
George was there to race.
Yes, that was it. Yeah. Sainz crossed the line, by the way, 29 thousandths off the pace of Hamilton, so it's still very much just getting up to speed. We've got several cars on the track, well, 7 cars. 6 on the track, 7 have set times at the moment, just beginning on their sectors run. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just having a quick look. Harry Benjamin says from the BBC F1 commentary team, there are lots of drivers that are under pressure this year because of the Lewis Hamilton sign for Ferrari to replace Carlos Sainz. That doesn't happen to 2025. What this does do is absolutely explodes the driver market for the next year. 12 are out of contract to the end of the season. When we recorded that podcast, yes, it was 15. Then Norris, Leclerc, and now Hamilton have all signed up. And now there's still
Russell's
to the
got
left.
it till 2026, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Russell was the other one. So there's still a lot of drivers left out of contract. But Fred Vasseur, as we discussed, he's doing a bit of a master plan, isn't he? Poached Red Bull
Yeah.
engineers, post-Mercedes drivers. It's looking like Ferrari could be on a slow return back up.
And that's good. And I read something online that proved my theory right. Lewis wouldn't have moved to Ferrari if it wasn't for Fred Vasseur.
Yeah.
And
I'm happy.
I had that theory at the start, and I was correct. So, yeah. And I was watching a bit of Drive to Survive as well, the Ferrari episode, and apparently he had to learn quite a bit of an Italian because he didn't know any.
Oh.
So...
Duolingo is coming in handy then. I know Megan's been learning some Italian.
My dad has been learning Italian French on Duolingo as well. But here's one of the Red Bulls. I think it's Sergio Perez who's out at the moment, and not a driver that could be having trouble with his seat this year. But he's not that far off the pace compared to his teammate at the moment in practice. Only a few attempts.
Yeah, that's easy for the first one. It'll be the first race to sort of go that everyone goes, okay, how far are you off the comparison? Because then you can get an idea.
Perez will be good at Bahrain though.
Yeah, he's won, of course, his first race here on the Outer Loop circuit back in 2020. Here's his radio.
I had a very nasty shift, upshift. Okay, having a look.
Oh, upshift problems again.
This time on Perez's car. They just swapped them over from last night. So Max had the same issue, and now Perez is having the same issue.
I think that 2020 Kia Grand Prix probably sealed the deal, I think, for Perez to go to Red Bull.
Yeah. Fantastic race. He was spun out, of course, by Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen was taken out of that race along with Leclerc. Perez was sent to the back, made 4 pit stops during that Grand Prix, and got the lead on
And
the
he
last
still
safety
won.
car. Yeah. It was such
One of my
a good race.
favourite wins in Formula 1 of all time, that.
One of my favourite races of all time. It was great. Ted's in the
Ted's in the
pits.
pit.
Kevin Magnussen's still got a bit of learning in this department to do as well, so I'm going to see what he does. He's out now on an outlap. And talking about outlaps,
He's not, Ted.
No,
He's
what's
not.
happened?
I'll just say he's just gone fastest overall. Kevin Magnussen, Q3 3 times last year, all on street tracks. He's just gone 2.5 tenths quicker than Charles Leclerc.
Well,
Back to you.
See, it's a quick car. What are all these naysayers saying about the Haas?
He learns quickly, doesn't he, Ted?
He does. He does. So that's Max Verstappen also out on the hard tyre. So that's a common theme at Red Bull now, both on the hard tyres.
All right, cheers down there as well on the board. As we hear from Crofty quickly on the board, along with Ted in the pits. Why Crofty interrupted, I don't know, but Perez on a lap time. What were we talking about just before? Yeah, the 2020 race. Yeah, Perez was so dominant there, and it did seal his deal to race with Red Bull. Of course, he was out of contract, and then it was sort of weird because Grosjean's accident sort of kick-started everyone moving around for that Shakir Grand Prix. And if it wasn't for Jack Aitken hitting the wall and causing that safety car, which caused Russell to have Bottas's tyres and Bottas to have Russell's tyres, and then...
And George's to have a puncher.
Yeah, because he ran over some debris. Then Perez would never have won the race, never have been signed for Red Bull, never would have backed Hamilton up in Abu Dhabi, and never would have had that last lap showdown where Max and Lewis would have been side by side.
I think George was favoured to win that race.
Should have, in my opinion. And you could see afterwards, you remember when he was sat on crying as well. George should have won that race, in my opinion, in Shakir. Norris goes
But he
third.
got that redemption in Brazil 2022.
That first and only win, of course, in his Formula 1 career. He's had a couple of poles since then. He's had
Hungary being one of them, I think 2022, and I can't remember the other one.
I think it's only one, isn't it? He did start on pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix, but
That's not a pole though.
Yeah, because he won it in the
That's
sprint
not pole.
race.
I'm googling it.
Yeah, because he won the sprint race, which put him on pole, but it was Kevin Magnussen who got that pole position, because pole was determined on the Friday, not the Saturday sprint.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll have a look actually, but I know he's got. I think he only's got one, and that was Hungary 22, I think.
I think it was. And Megan was on the commentary for that one. I turned up in the last second because I was doing a Formula E race, and I sat down in the chair, put a headset on, and I was like, oh, wow, Russell's on pole. And Russell's actually fastest, one more than him now in that middle sector with a 39.519 as it comes out of.
Yeah, if it was just
14.
the one.
Yeah, just so, yeah, and it could be more this year, but Hamilton's last pole, of course, was last year. In Hungary. Yeah, back to back. Russell does a 1:31.821, still off the pace from yesterday's 1 minute 30s. But yeah, last year in Hungary, he was his 104th pole position in his career. He's still chasing win 104. His 103rd came in Saudi Arabia in 2021. It's his longest ever winless streak, of course, 2 seasons. Of course, he was the only F1 driver in history to have scored a win in every single season he appeared. No longer, as Verstappen crosses the line, only goes 10th.
Yeah, but I think Verstappen just getting used to hard compounded tyres because they want to get used to that in the race. And I thought it'll mainly be the softs and the mediums that will be the difference. But I think with the tyre degradation data, the hards don't degrade as much as soft and the hards. So I think we'll expect a few people. There's Lando Norris. He's had a big side of turn 13, it looks like, Josh.
Yep, just gets on the exit, drifts over, and then that curb becomes like a rail. So as soon as you get on it, it just hooks the floor together and just kicks you out the back. Bernie Collins, who is former Aston Martin chief strategist, now works with Sky Sports and F1 TV. She said that she's expecting everyone to run 2 compounds of softs in this session, or a set of softs and a hard compound tyre, because they don't want to use that in qualifying and they want to save 1 set of hards for the race. Remember, you are mandated to take a brand new set of medium compound tyres into the Sunday race. That's the compound you have to run, the mediums, during the Grand Prix on Sunday. You can't just run like hard, soft, soft. You must run the mediums.
Oh, so they must run mediums. So they can't just do soft, hard, soft.
Yep, they have to run the mediums in the race now on Sundays. That's,
is that a new rule for this year?
I think so, because I've never heard of it before. Because if it's a dry
Yeah, I've
race...
never, because I know in Bahrain, mostly it was... Actually, no, most people did go on mediums, to be fair.
But
I think one team that's getting on my nerves at the moment in terms of they're not finding pace is Aston Martin.
Right to the top.
Now, they've gone fastest in the session at the moment, but they're 6th best in both of the quality and the race session simulations. In qualifying, trimmed they're about 7/10 off the pace. But only... oh, no, that was something else, okay. It was RB that was 6th best, and they're only 7/10 off the pace of Aston Martin. So let's have a look. Aston Martin 0.94 slower than Red Bull in race trim.
Insane. I mean, Aston was supposed to be really close in the end of...
They were supposed to be very close, and Alonso wasn't feeling confident. So I'm a bit worried for Aston Martin. I'm a bit worried for Lando as well, because Piastri seems to be performing a lot better than Norris.
I've got the qualifying simulation pace on my phone now that you just put in. Mercedes is the 2nd fastest. It's just insane to think after where they were last year with that concept car.
They're happy with it. They're both happy, I think, with the car more than last year. It drives well. It's more planted, but Ferrari seem to be doing a lot better in terms of race pace. So they compromise a bit their quali pace for race pace. We've got radio from Perez.
Shift is really bad. Yeah, copy.
Still, the upshift is really bad.
Nah,
One thing I don't like is that F1 have removed the little pipping when a radio message comes on this year. So it never comes through.
I like that. I liked that, but I don't. It's hard to tell. You just have to look right up, so, which is annoying.
So that's why Megan, if Megan was usually in the box, she'd hit me. Just looking at that, I don't believe that Williams are 10th best in race pace, 10th in the pits with Lando.
A front suspension change. They've just pulled one torsion bar out. They're putting another one in.
They're 9.
And you don't see this very often. Normally, Lando does his preparation overnight. He watches all his onboard laps, talks about what he's going to do, and then what he comes into free practice 3 with is more or less what he stays with. So to see him, whatever that first run he did, and I don't think it was a bad time, was it, Crofty? What he wasn't happy with.
It was a second off what is Alonso's pace-setting time now.
So maybe that is a bad time on reflection. Anyway, listen, I don't know what Lando did. All I'm seeing is that the mechanics are doing a very quick front suspension change, and then let's see if he can narrow down that second gap to the Aston.
Just 10, Ricardo goes 10th on a 132.772 on the board. As you see, Liam Lawson, the reserve driver for RB, in the pit lane. Yeah, so I don't believe that Williams are that slow, both in race and qualifying pace. They were right up there in the midfield yesterday, whereas the likes of Sauber, Alpine and Haas struggled in testing, and I think do have a worse pace coming into today. But I suppose we'll see in qualifying.
I think, no offence, Haas is going to be near the bottom. They're doing well in qualifying trims, but in the race their tyres degrade just so much, and they just don't feel as confident compared to the other teams, which is a shame. And that is why, in my opinion, we should have C. Andretti go into the sport. I still don't know why Andretti was denied. It should have been approved personally. Even RB are doing way better than Haas. Like, RB are doing pretty much better than expected in a way. I mean, obviously they qualified P1 in FP1, but they were doing glory runs at the time. And they're sixth in the race simulation pace, which I think for them to start off their season with is way better than the start of last season.
100%. I mean, the improvements they've made over the winter as well, which is great. And as we look at James Vowles now on the pit wall, it's almost like we're hearing the TV directors this weekend. Yesterday I was talking about Toto, they showed us a bit of Toto. Now we're seeing Albon, so it's just working perfectly this at the moment.
It works lovely.
They had 200 components on the chassis last year at Williams. This year they've got over 2,000 components, but they are lighter. And they're made now more of carbon fibre, so that car's a lot more detailed than it was. And do you remember, Jess, last year we were doing Monaco practice commentary, and they pulled one of the Williamses up in the air, and we saw the floor and how basic it was compared to the Red Bull. Apparently this year the floor of that Williams is now a lot more detailed and designed.
Which is good, and obviously since James Vowles has a bit more experience now from like other teams, it's definitely coming to fruition, it looks like, for James. And then again, it was interesting to find out a bit more about Haas and Williams in Drive to Survive, of course, and the fact that James was just so happy to get the team from lower down to finish 7th. It's going to be a tough order, I think, for them to finish 7th this season, but it is not on the realms of possibility. I still think they're faster than Sauber, by a shadow of a doubt. I don't think they're slower than Sauber. There's a lot more pace still to be showed for Albon. It's a make or break season for him, because if he does well, he could be one of the people that could be considered for going to Merc if Antonelli doesn't do well in F2.
Merc and Red Bull, because there's been a lot of signings that he's like first pick, but we've also got Carlos Sainz hanging around Red Bull.
What about Ricciardo, though?
Ricciardo, I think, is a good replacement, just to sort of slot in mid-season if they really need to get rid of Perez. But I think the thing is, if that RB is podium and race winners, I think he's okay just staying there.
He will stay if they get podiums.
Yeah.
But if they don't get podiums, Ricciardo would want the Red Bull seat.
Albon,
and he was the only one to have challenged Verstappen on a regular basis.
2018, of course, the last time they're together. One ball with Max Verstappen now, down towards turn 11. Third gear, 160 kilometres an hour corner to the left, takes down. Oh, you can hear it, can't you, Jess? That downshift is still not good for Max.
Nope, it's not.
Oh, Red Bull are really in trouble.
If they win with those downshifts, then that will be impressive.
Was it last year that Max turned the gearbox down, as did Checo, because of problems, and they still were 1-2 by about 30 seconds? Do you remember that?
I can't remember which race it was.
It was either Saudi or Bahrain. It was one of the two.
No, it wasn't Saudi, because Verstappen didn't qualify for Q3 because he had gear shaft issues.
Perez won that one, and Max fought his way to second.
Yeah, Perez won that race. Perez won Baku in Saudi.
They're both races that you were on at the start of the year as well. That was coincidental.
Yeah, it was.
It's a coincidence, actually.
And I'll be there for Saudi again this time as well.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that in a week's time. By the way, commentary team for this weekend has been finalised. We were waiting on one person for the Sunday race. So in the commentary box on Sunday...
Saturday race, Josh. Saturday.
Sorry, thank you, Jess. I knew I'd do that. Yeah, I keep thinking it's Saturday. Okay, for Saturday's race, tomorrow, Megan's going to be with us in the comms box. Josh T's going to be here. Omi's down in the pits. Jess, I know you're busy with Creator Series as well, with a couple of other things. So you're just hanging around?
I'll be in the pits until I need to go and set up for Creator Series.
Excellent. So Jess will be in the pit lane. Ed Hunter's probably going to be hanging around. But alongside me, Megan and Josh T on commentary, Omi will be in the pits too. But I'm delighted to say that Kieran McGinley will be in the commentary box for us with this race.
Is Megan doing the pre-show this week?
Next week.
Pre-race show?
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I thought it was this week.
Megan's doing the pre-show next week while I commentate on the Qatar sprint race. So Megan's got the hosting duties next week for the pre-show. I've got it this week. And then I think...
I've got an interesting fact, actually. The first F1 Academy race next week falls on International Women's Day.
Oh, that's perfect. And it's in Saudi Arabia as well, which is a great statement. Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. I can't wait.
And good news, I got Friday approved, so I have next Friday off.
All the races then. Brilliant.
Yeah, apart from, I won't be around for practice though.
Oh, I'm sure if the timings are working on that lot, I'll take practice. So don't worry about that. Don't worry at all.
Yeah, but I'll be there Friday.
Megan could probably take it too if she's not busy. I'll let her take it.
She's not busy with uni. Oh, there's an Alpine that's out. That is...
Gasly, I think.
They're looking a bit...
And the one thing that's bugging me about Alpine is that we all mocked them for the non-livery, and then they put some blue on the front, and we were like, okay, that makes it look a little bit better. And then they've taken it off, and apparently this weekend they're in their pink livery. How could you tell? It looks identical to the blue.
It looks identical. No offence, it looked identical.
I don't like it. I don't like the look of it. I don't like what they've done to it.
It's the worst livery on the grid.
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's a carbon grid. But honestly, it looks like a Formula 2 car.
It does.
It's horrible. And it's... where are they at the moment? Gasly's 17th. Where's Ocon?
Ocon is P12.
Right.
My favourite livery is the McLaren.
The McLaren's really nice livery, actually. I do like the Mercedes. I know it's a black back, but the silver front going into black.
Yeah, I like the Mercedes as well because of the silver front.
It reminds me of an old McLaren from the early 2000s. So it's like, oh, that's good. I do like the Ferrari. I think the Red Bull's quite clean. Aston was a bit like, okay.
Yeah, Red Bull can't change their livery too much, because otherwise it will get rid of their branding pretty much.
Yeah.
But it does look a bit more sharper than last season, so I like it.
It's going to be great fun as well. Omi is chatting with George in the YouTube chat as well. Hello, George. Nice to have you here. SHT's in the Twitch chat saying, well, it's a nightmare for Prema Racing yesterday. Only way to describe Alpine now, they are a huge mess in every aspect. And that's, of course, since they fired Otmar Safnauer and fired Alan Permain and have moved over as well to go on. So Alan Permain, I think, has now joined RB, effectively now, on that team. Is it Williams? No, it's
Alpine had
RB.
a little bit of I think 2 episodes in Drive to Survive where there was one moment where the morale of the team was not good. At all.
I think the Alpine last year were very much an organisation that was sort of like lost their way a little bit. I don't think it was Otmar Safnauer's fault. I think he got blamed for it all. But I think that the biggest problem...
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
I miss Otmar. I do. And...
Because Otmar did well at Aston Martin.
Yeah. Well, if anything, I think Otmar Safnauer is going to have a job at... Red Bull in the coming weeks at this rate. I can't see Jonathan Whitley.
I wouldn't mind him being team principal. He's a nice guy.
And he's finished gardening leave, if I'm not mistaken, as well from Alpine, because.
He could. Yeah, you never know. You never know with that situation. I've got one question to ask since practice is quiet.
Go on.
What do you think about F1 24?
The game.
Yes.
2 seconds, Ted's at Hamilton.
For a couple of minutes, and they're just making a change around. I'm waiting to see if it's actually some of the brake material. Lewis has come back. We didn't hear anything on the team radio, did we, Crofty? He's come back and said that he doesn't like the feel of the brakes, they're changing the pads or anything, or if it's just a cooling change. It might be that they're changing some of the cooling to get some more heat into the front tyres. So we will see. If you're still on the camera down here, Crofty, can I show you the Red Bull pit wall round our shoulder? And you
if
can
the camera
see
swings round,
it is minus Christian Horner, who has gone for a meeting with Mohammed Ben Sulayem, the FIA president.
Obviously, that is a big story. It has dominated all the headlines. We're going to concentrate on the on-track action here, but Ted, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation to talk about with Christian Horner because of the case matter. So, thank you, Ted.
Don't talk about it too much when I'm around because of my affiliation with Red Bull.
Yeah. So we'll bring you that in the qualifying
not
show.
with the actual F1 team, but esports.
Don't want to get you in trouble. So yeah, we'll talk about that in the qualifying show. But hopefully all involved are okay, emotionally and mental state as well. I think that's always important to remember. Until it's innocent until proven guilty. That's the mantra. That's what it is. You are innocent until proven guilty. So I hope everybody involved mentally is doing okay, and that extends to both sides, and to friends, family, anybody involved. So yeah, I think that's always important. What are we talking? F124, right? I like the look that we have got a brand new career system coming in. That looks great.
I think that's what they put all the emphasis on because I think they had complaints that there wasn't much emphasis on that last year.
Oh, Sky going for break. And I like also that we're getting a lot more realistic driving simulators. And I'm really looking forward to it because finally we're getting a regular thing. I can now get a new steering wheel at some point in this coming year, a little bit more force feedback. And I'm so looking forward to getting back into driving because, as I said to you, Jess, I've been doing the R-Fact stuff with my old wheel and I've been really enjoying it. I've really missed doing all the driving. So I'm looking forward to getting that sorted at some point in the year. And
yeah,
I'm looking forward to just having more realistic driving and getting it all sorted. And I'm really hoping as well, they say it's PSVR accessible, like it is on the PC. Because on PC you can use it.
It is current and old gen as well.
Oh, is it still PS4? Oh.
Yeah, but they haven't confirmed on what engine they're going to use yet.
It's got to be
Game
new.
engine.
Yeah, it has to be new. And I'm slightly annoyed because we are 4-5 years into the PS5, Xbox, whatever it is.
Obviously I was a bit confused as to why, but they're not going current gen like they did with WRC. But I'm guessing maybe money, but I don't have a clue at the end of the day. And also, did you know that if you pre-order F124, you get, I think, 4 or 5 liveries in time trial or F124 liveries for 5 teams?
Right, I'll pre-order. That's it. I'm not doing what I did in previous years where I couldn't afford it.
Where you waited?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically if you pre-order now and you have F123, you could do that. But don't pre-order it until you get F123, Josh.
Is that why they've given F123 on the PlayStation game, do you reckon? On the PS3 trial?
I think so, to probably try and encourage it. And if you own the previous F1 games, you get up to a 15% discount.
Well, I've got them all. I've got them all.
But yeah, it will only count once though.
Ah, right.
So it will just check the latest game that you have, and if it's F123, then it doesn't have to check for any other games.
Yay! Right, doing that. See, this is why, Jess, you're the Martin Lewis of esport world with this, giving us all the deals.
Yeah, so 31st of May as well, if you want to
is that
pre-order.
Yeah. When's it out? Is it June or July?
The Champions Edition is out on 28th of May, and the Standard Edition 31st of May.
It's in May this year. Blimey.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks earlier than last year.
I like that because...
Yeah, I swear every year it's like 2 or 3 weeks early than the previous year. Because in F122, it was out in July, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Whereas now it's out,
So by Monaco. Yes, after Monaco.
Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
Canada, Monaco.
Can't wait for that.
But yeah.
Oh, little cheeky.
Yeah, and more needs
yeah.
to come out in April as well. But you can tell there's not much going on at the moment. We're talking about random stuff.
There's nothing on the track. Just a little tip for everybody as well. If you get the disc version, I presume you can pre-order the disc version as well.
I assume so. I might be wrong.
A little tip for everyone, as I did this. If you order the disc version, you might get it for a few days early, because I ordered F1 2019 pre-order, and I got it.
Mine from I think it was F1 2018 and 2019. I ordered I think it was the PS5 one.
Yeah.
PS4. On Simply Games, and I got it like a day or two early.
Same
It's
with
crazy.
me. Yeah, I got it about 2 to 3 days early, and I was like,
But that was
got
before
it.
they had the Champions Edition.
Yes, yeah, and my F1 2019 is Senna and Prost as well on that one.
So well, obviously, with me being the EA Creative Network, I get it through them anyway. But
Yes, yeah. I mean, I did sign up for that, but they haven't said yes yet, which is weird because of the amount I did with esports commentary, and I do all the lap attacks and all the guides and everything. I'm surprised, and I still play.
you
all the
never
games.
know.
I'll check my
You
emails.
never know, Josh.
I'll check all my emails. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that this year and focused and get racing, and might make a
That
return.
means more lap attacks.
Yep. I might do some, might go reserving PS. PS Johnny's dead for a little bit because I will have it. Oh, hello.
Oh, we're in the pits.
Ted.
Back through after his meeting with the FIA president,
It's Christian Horner.
Mohammed Ben Sulayem. They came in through the back of the Red Bull garage and had a little final chat in the pit apron. I think you can see that here. And there,
Yes, we can.
there was a handshake, and obviously we don't know what was said, and Christian Horner has taken his place back on the Red Bull pit wall. So that's the situation down here.
He said.
Oh.
So Christian Horner was just seen with Mohammed Ben Sulayem in the pit lane. That was deliberate. You don't. If they wanted it confidential off the record, they wouldn't go into the pit lane doing that with cameras around. That was a deliberate status there to show the FIA and Christian Horner's position on things. So by that, I would say it looks to be that they're not going to do much.
I will say my opinions off air.
Yeah. That's my personal opinion, not of anybody else's. So thank you, Ted. On board with Sergio Perez, though, who might actually go faster than Fernando Alonso here and get himself into a good position to go for pole position later on in the session. Across the line comes Perez, and
Looks good.
Oh, 1:31.248. Great lap time there from Checo. Yeah, just to go back to F1 24 as well, I think there's a lot more. Oh, Albon up to 5th. Wow.
Where has his race come from?
1:32.137. 8 tenths off the pace of Perez. That's a great lap time. We just saw the Red Bull pit wall there with Adrian Newey. Verstappen, fastest first sector on a 29.054, so he's on a better lap time. Zhou goes 5th, so Sauber finding some times out there too. Yeah, so just go back to
Sorry,
F1 24. I'm really looking forward to also the fact that they categorically said that there'll be a lot more features this year. And do you know what I'm really hoping? I want full...
Track. Malaysia, Hockenheim, please.
Yeah, exactly. Classic tracks. Also, it's really weird, but I want customizable grids like you can set. Like you can... do you remember on the old F1 games about F1 05, 06?
They still do that.
No, I know, but where you can fly through the grid and maneuver it.
That's one thing I want.
Yeah.
A good reminder. Where you can where it's like ATC where you can change cameras,
Yes.
but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yes,
You should be able to change like the broadcast cameras from like Helicam or whatever just to wherever you want.
Yes.
But there should be an option to keep it on auto, just in case there's people that are not as technically minded. But for people like me that have been doing commentary since 2018,
Yeah.
I would love that feature, so I could just I could possibly put it on my Stream Deck or something if I'm doing PC and just like
Control it, yeah.
switch between the two. Because some of the camera angles, when I'm trying to commentate on the battle, is absolutely horrific.
It really
that they
is.
choose. Like,
And all we get to do is switch between onboards and television feeds and where we are in the field.
that's it at the moment.
I mean, I love. I don't know why some of the guys don't do it where if you have a controller and set it up, yes, you can still use the keyboard, but with the controller, when you're on board with the cameras, you can swivel left or right on the camera to see where the action is. So say you're side by side, you can swivel left and see them going side by side.
I always forget to do it though on PS. Like I'm like, "Meh."
I did it once or
So
twice.
sometimes I do it, but I don't do it all the time.
Always do it. I always do it.
I thought you did, Omi.
Do you use controller on PC, Omi?
Yeah, I still use a bit of controller.
Why not use keyboard to navigate the drivers and then use the controller to do the cameras?
That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do.
I
Jess.
use a bit of keyboard, but I'm like far
Alright.
away from the screen. You
Yeah,
know, like
'cause
I'm
when
running
I'm on
up and down and.
Because when I'm on PC, if I do PC commentaries, which is a once in a blue moon, if it's like a last resort, then I just use the keyboard because I can just switch between
Yeah.
the thing. And then I put it on my Stream Deck as well, the hotkeys.
Yeah, I do the same. I'm on. I use, you know, the 1 to 10 shift and all that to move around the cameras, and then I have
Yeah.
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 Then I have a controller,
that.
and I can then move around the cameras quite quick on the controller. It's usually just a long cable, so I can do it standing. I'm never on the one streaming. It's always Richie, so I can just mess around and have a go at it. But when I used to do it on BBB Esports, when it was on PS4 and then PS5, I was in complete control of everything, so it was fun. I do miss it, but I don't miss it at the same time. I miss the.
Because you're a busy man, Josh.
Yes, yeah. I'll come back every time you need me. As Straw goes 131, 396. As I said, I'm just in the back
Well,
rooms.
it's not me that does PC now.
No, it's Josh, isn't it? Yeah.
The other Josh, not you.
Yeah, the other me, not me.
Not
No,
Josh
T,
T
the other
either.
one, yeah. But yeah, as I said, I'm always around if anybody needs me for anything. I'll just hop in. But yeah, busy. 15 series this year, plus everything else.
And another NASCAR race this week as well.
Yeah.
Do you watch the
Vegas.
NASCAR Netflix?
I've seen
thing?
episode 1. I like with Drive to Survive. I haven't been able to catch up yet because everything just hits you. So I'm going to be
I
catching up.
prefer it compared to Drive to Survive because it actually goes in chronological order, the NASCAR one.
Yeah, I think that's what Drive to Survive needs to do to keep, you know, it needs to go. I would change so much, but NASCAR's better.
And what I didn't know,
You think the
because I don't watch NASCAR, but I think after the NASCAR Netflix thing, I'll probably watch more of it now. I didn't know that Danny Hamlin drives on one team and then owns a completely different team.
Yeah.
And I won't go too much about it. Actually, you watched episode 1, didn't you? The fact when he was trying to prioritise who he would prioritise to get into the playoffs. The driver of the team he owns, Bubba Wallace or Gibbs, the team that he races in.
It's so weird.
If I remember, it was quite interesting.
I'll tell you what, Jess, you should definitely.
Do you think I can get into NASCAR?
Omi's struggling to get into NASCAR. Actually, Omi, watch that Netflix series. It'll help.
Honestly, the reason why I get into... I'm in a NASCAR kind of... Well, it's an F1 hybrid league, which runs NASCAR rules, which is probably why it did... When I watched the NASCAR Netflix, it didn't take me a while to get up to speed, because the rules were pretty much the same. So...
Oh, time was stuck for a second. There we go. Hamilton on the 125. But yeah, you should come along, Jess, for a NASCAR race. It's really fun. Hammer time?
Well, I would if I didn't have work the next day.
That's true. They do take a long time. Like
Exactly. So if it was on a Monday and I didn't have PSGL, then maybe. But
I should have joined us for Daytona last Monday. That was good.
PSGL.
Yeah, that's true. Alonso Radio.
You know, got a great race car, or better race car.
10th quicker than Verstappen.
Oh.
Another step better. I'm connected with the car. It's good.
Oh,
Really important.
Alonso's connected with the car. It's good.
Verstappen.
Megan is now Megan, by the way, who woke me up, I think, about 3:45 in the morning, saying that I finished my assignment all that long, went to bed. Bear in mind, I got in about 1:10. I wasn't on a night out. I went for quiet drinks at 6:30 and didn't get home until 1:10, 1:30 even. So that's how it goes. Quiet drinks.
I went to sleep at 11. Got up at 5:30. Started work at 6:15, so I can do the 6 hours. So I can have the rest of the afternoon.
It's fantastic.
So I did 6:10 till 12 today.
I'm so glad I got that It's weird, isn't it? I'm glad you can see qualifying, actually, because I'm worried that qualifying is on at 4 till 5. Everybody would still be at work. So, and
on Fridays usually I finish at 3.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah. I remember that.
So yeah, that's the beauty of working where I am. Like, if you start early, you can finish early.
The one issue as well is tomorrow, I'm not expecting the UK, or in fact any, viewing figures to be high for the season opener because it's 3 p.m. start, which is right when the Premier League starts and all the football matches across the country. That's why Ian Birch isn't in the commentary box for this race.
Because he's watching the football.
Because he's watching the football. He's watching the Grimsby Town match. But he's...
Now, how is your dad, Josh?
A lot better, yeah. He's never going to be fully 100%, but he's a lot better than he was, and his eyes got better as well. And it was a long winter of pushing him around hospitals to have eye tests as well. To which, on one case, when... well, actually, this was just before the season ended. I had to take him to the hospital on my own for a doctor's appointment, and I left my phone in the taxi. So I got it back, obviously.
I left my old wireless headphones in the taxi. I've never got it back.
Well, the thing is, though, I forgot. I never just rang I was panicking in the hospital. I know my own phone number. I never just rang my phone. I panicked, and I rang the taxi company instead of just ringing my own phone. I thought when I got back home, oh yeah, I could have just done that. But I said never again. So Mom now helps as well, because she wasn't here. She was.
I just didn't bother with the headphones. I just got some cheaper wireless ones.
Yeah. I would never.
I wasn't bothered. So I was just like, there's no point phoning a taxi company.
But his eyes are much better now.
They got new wireless headphones if anyone wants it.
But yeah, so I've got his headset actually in my hand here, so he'll be here for I think 10 minutes on Sunday in between the half-time break. So he'll pop in, have a quick word, and then pop off again, which is pretty standard.
Oh yeah.
I think he'll be here in Saudi next time out. I'm not too sure, or it's either Saudi, Australia, or I think he's actually Japan and China because they're night races.
So the early races, basically,
yeah.
the early morning races.
And then I think the only 3 he's 100% for is Monaco, Silverstone, and whatever the championship turns out to be. So I think, that's it. But
Gasly.
Oh, big snap out of 4.
Cut turn 4.
He got compromised by Carly on the exit. I think that was Sainz.
That was probably Sainz. I don't know.
Sainz has just gone past him now on the tracker. That was on the last lap. There's no one else around them. Hulkenberg's looking quite strong here. Fastest in personal bests, but is he going to move up? Oh, he does, to 7th, 1:31.278.
Again, they're not that bad in quali. It's just their racing to sort out. That's where you get the points.
Haas are going to be a little bit alarmed. And I think their tyres will be better. Do you know
Tyre deg is a big issue for them.
I'm getting a bit worried, Jess, and I'd say I'm getting a bit worried because we went through 24 hours of testing and only Alexander Albon ran. Alexander Albon had a fuel sensor issue. There was nothing wrong with the car, that's why he stopped. But that didn't cause a red flag. So his car was able to go back to the garage and restart easily. So so far, we've gone through 24 hours of testing, 3 hours of practice. We've had not one car break down, we've not had one car crash, and we've not had one red flag in any of these sessions.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point in the next couple of races.
And Sainz jumps to the top. 1:38.24 in that Ferrari on a bit of a qualifying run. And Fred Vasseur's going to be happy with that. You've just sacked that driver, and now he's gone fastest.
I'm always wondering where Sainz is going to go next season. So I think Audi, but...
Yeah, I think that too. But
surely other teams will want to try and get him.
Sainz was the only driver outside of Red Bull to win a race last year, and he won it with style.
To be honest, Leclerc did help him get that win.
Yeah, that's true. In Singapore.
So he held up nice Hamilton and Russell.
Something didn't sound right there from Hamilton. It sounded a bit chuggy coming into 11. It just took my breath away, actually, listening to that.
Might be fuel.
Yeah, probably a low... Yeah, look, he's on a slow sector 1, so this is a He'll probably box at the end of this one.
He's probably, and yeah, he's probably going to go into the pits. I think he's running out of battery as well.
Leclerc's first sector on a push. He's up towards turn 4. First sector will be coming up. He's got DRS there as well activated. Oh, Max is coming into the pit lane there, so Max is done for the session. Quite a lot of them are. Oh, Lewis is continuing. Okay.
All right. So,
I thought you'd come in.
no, I don't think so.
Sorry.
Nice to see that you are allowed to use multi-viewing now. It's great. I love the layout that you've got. It's brilliant.
Well, loads of other streamers have been doing it, and it's fine. It's fine. It's if you want individual content, like your own graphics pack designing by them. I mean, you don't need it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So they're fine with you using their timings, but
Yeah, because they're F1. So, yeah. But we're getting a logo for them to put on the stream. Just waiting for that to ping through.
oh,
the
but
email.
yeah, honestly, multi-viewer is very lovely.
I implore everyone watching to use multi-viewer. It is so good.
You need F1 TV though.
Yeah. Or an access pass at $2.99 a month. $2.29, sorry.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing we have in the UK.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're in America, which I feel jealous about, if you pre-order F1 24, you get F1 TV for free for a year.
Oh, for God's sake! We should have that as Leclerc goes fourth fastest. 1:31.
I know. I literally feel so annoyed that we don't get that.
Well, I suppose you could argue.
It's US only, so even if you have it in other countries, it's
Yeah.
only US.
You could argue we technically do have F1 TV because on the Sky Sports app, if you watch it, you get the timing, model screen, driver track, and onboard mix, and every onboard. It's 40 seconds back, and on the F1 TV, it's standard. It's 8.
No, it's about 20 F1 TV, I think.
Oh, I presume you could do the times 2 function then. That might work.
Yeah, it's about the same amount of delay as Sky Glass because it's obviously online.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's about 20 seconds.
I wish that delay never
Which is not bad.
exists. Yeah. We shouldn't need this delay.
No,
It's
exactly.
So bad. It's like the TV. It's 8 seconds. The difference between the timing screen and
Well,
the TV
that's
pictures.
on satellite.
Yeah, and that's because the TV broadcasters have to be 8 seconds back. Because I'll be very frank with you here because I've got the regulations
Say
down.
if there's a swear word.
No. It's in case of a literally
Crash.
it's 8 seconds in case of any form of terrorism, attack, or anything happens live on air. They can cut the broadcast pictures. In fact, they were very close to cutting
That's
them.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why then. Yeah.
Yeah. So say if the signal goes black because something has happened, some form of attack, they have 8 seconds to boot up the test card image. So that it gives it gives them a little bit of room. That's what the 8 seconds is about. So that's a fascinating thing I learned when I was doing media. So that's what it's 8 seconds built into every television network.
I thought it was because to give time for people to bleep the swearing.
No. It's 8 seconds for that. It's the news started it after. I think it was after 9/11. And there was attacks.
Oh right, so
Yeah.
it's for any program.
Any program, any live program it is. Normal terrestrial television.
On up the line.
Or 132,
Still
124.
only 18.
Yeah, not great there from them. But yeah, fascinating to learn about that, those timing differences and what TV are in place. So everything's 8 seconds out of loop. It also gives them buffer time. So say things don't load, you've got 8 seconds, and you get that back through an ad break if you're on a terrestrial.
I struggled to see actually last corner as well. The sun is getting low.
Oh God, yeah.
Which will not
Leclerc is really struggling. The sun is low.
The sun is blinded, but luckily it's going to be night time. Check flag has dropped in
Aha.
about a few seconds.
Yeah, and for people saying, "Oh, what about BBC?" BBC have adverts too. They do. BBC do have adverts. It's just that BBC have adverts for their
They
own
just
programme.
show their programs and that's it.
Yeah. So the BBC adverts for their own shows, the trailers as they call them, they can
The
cut
reason
those
why
down.
BBC don't have commercial adverts because they get covered by the RTV license.
Yeah. Fascinating. I would love to put my media and television and media degree to use and do a documentary about it all because it's so good. And we've got a television company
would be-
actually, Estuary, that shut down. We've still got it all. In fact,
When did you leave? Oh, Chicken Flags drop. And when did you leave uni?
2020, COVID. I never got a graduation. it still bugs me about that.
So you never, so you got a degree, but you never had a ceremony and all that.
Yeah. Got the degree, and
Well, that's annoying.
I never put the Karen cap on. I was very disappointed.
Aww. You should have bought one and have it in your house and like do like a.
I should do actually, yeah. Although maybe one day I'll be part of something if I, that's like, I don't know.
Do it when Megan graduates.
Yeah, run on and accept it. That's an idea.
No. Like have like your graduation caps on together, like at home.
Do you know, that's a brilliant idea. I could just borrow her thing and put it on. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Because everyone else has got one. Kellyanne's got one. David's got one. I don't. So yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
And you could have like a photo. And
Yeah.
When I graduated for my apprenticeship, because my work called it a graduation type thing. Literally, for anyone that my mum and dad knows have been graduated, they literally have a photo of our caps and
Yes, yeah.
scrolls and all that.
Right, that's what we're doing. Doing that. I don't actually know where my degree
And now get the
is.
Q, FP3, everybody.
Sainz fastest, 1:38.24 from Alonso. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris top 5. That's a sweet run around for qualifying coming up. And that session going to be live here on JBMotorsports with watch-along coverage. You can join us for all of the action. It's going to be epic, the first session of the year as they come through. Just a quick thing as well as we do the practice starts on the grid. Quick thing to remind you on with all of this, with the qualifying build-up show. I understand that Sky Sports News are going to be doing a segment about what's happened that might air during on the YouTube channel. So just check out Sky Sports F1's YouTube channel for that. So, first session coming. Oh, hang on a minute. What's this? Yeah, that's all good. As they come into it. My laptop. Can you hear me, Jess? Oh. I have a feeling my laptop's gone funny again. Omi, can you hear me? Anyone hear me? No. Okay. That's great. My laptop's gone funny again. Can you hear me, Jess? Hello? Anyone hear me? No? Right. Laptop's gone funny for a second time. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It's gone funny. Jess is also frozen on my side, so the internet's crashed again with Discord. That's second time today. I wonder what's going on with that. Coming into the mix of things. Okay, well, Jess is frozen, so we'll hopefully get her back in just a few moments' time. I'll have to restart the computer again. Second time. I don't know what's going on with that. I think the Wi-Fi, something's glitching the Wi-Fi because on the computer. But anyway, we've still got a few seconds to come in. Practice starts getting underway for everything. Yeah, Wi-Fi's stuck. I've just noticed as well. Yes, okay, brilliant. That was the problem. The internet has gone funny on Wi-Fi. Every time it does it, it hits the monitor as well. So just logging in. Lewis Hamilton doing a practice start now as well with Esteban Ocon just behind him. Russell, Ricardo Stroll coming back behind to do their start. Several drivers already taken it. Ricardo was the first to check a flag, so Ricardo is at the back. Here's Hamilton. Good launch actually from the grid there for Lewis. And just getting it away ever so nicely as well. Practice pit stops going on then for Max Verstappen as he gets pushed away into the pit lane, and we'll wait for Checo to come in. Checo is at turn 14, as you can see on your driver tracker map, so he's coming in to have the play. Carlos Sainz ends the session fastest. He's done his practice start, has come up to the grid. Hang on a minute. Sainz on a lap, so Sainz back into the pit lane. Blimey, it's all gone funny. Yeah, Sainz into the pits. I've just seen him do a practice start. That shows you how far away my monitor is on things. So F2 coming up after this broadcast. You can stay tuned for all of the action as well here on JBMotorsports, and well, all the big action coming in for the F1 qualifying. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 3:45 on air for that. 2:05 on air for the remainder of this qualifying session. F2's up next. Here's the results then from this third and final practice session. It's Carlos Sainz fastest, Fernando Alonso is second, and Max Verstappen finishes in third place. Charles Leclerc is in fourth, Lando Norris fifth, George Russell sixth, Oscar Piastri seventh, Sergio Perez eighth, Nico Hülkenberg ninth, and Lance Stroll takes us into 10th position. Further down, Daniel Ricciardo is 11th, Hamilton is 12th, Tsunoda 13th, 14th for Magnussen, 15th for Albon, 16th for Zhou, 17th for Bottas, 18th on the board as well for Ocon, Sargent 19th, and Gasly takes us in to 20th position. Last on the board, unfortunately, for Pierre as he comes into the mix. Practice complete. Time for qualifying to come up shortly as well. And who's going to be hot or not in this session? I'm back on. Jess, Omi, can you hear me?
Jess has gone to get food, but yes, I can.
Nice. What did you make of that session, Omi?
Very interesting session. I have to say, all due practices have been a bit quiet. It's been more of the podcast. Of course, we've had as well with it. But I think qualifying is going to be very exciting. But make sure you join us for the FT. That'll be maybe a bit more.
That's coming up next. Thanks, Omi. Thanks to you at home. We'll be back then for the F2 and the F1 quali. As Carlos Sainz, fastest overall. We'll see you shortly for quali. Bye-bye.